What is going on, Alpha Hunters? It is a very terrific Tubular Tuesday. And yeah, apologize for not being on live stream yesterday. Had some storms in the area, and I was worried about if the power got knocked out. And I just didn't think it was even going to be worth it if it did happen. Like, it actually wound up clearing out just shortly before I went live, so I would have been fine, but it's all right. It is what it is. But we can talk about a little bit of yesterday, some inflation data that we got this morning, today, and what to kind of expect the rest of this week. Yesterday, nice little gap up, faded down, kind of hung around the zero line for basically just most of the day. Nice little bounce off the midday little drop there, kind of hang around zero line. End of the day, kind of flat, but yeah, down from that gap up. Today, we did get inflation data this morning from PPI here. So core PPI was a little bit higher month over month. Year over year was a little bit higher as well, but the forecast was calling for 2.4%. So basically, it came in line with forecast. But still, that obviously is ticking higher there for the year over year. And even the total PPI here came in just a little bit higher. What was prior month at 143.3, came in at 144.1. So there you go. And then you got your percentage down here, 2.2%. Forecast is calling for 2.2%. Prior month was 1.8%. So yeah, we obviously are seeing a little bit higher tick there on PPI. And I kind of thought if we did come in a little bit higher on PPI that you probably think the market would expect, okay, CPI is going to come in hot, probably see it drop off today. We haven't really seen that reaction too much. Had kind of a little bit of a gap up here, pushed higher, kind of was choppy there in the first hour. Nice little pump there for about 30 minutes, and kind of a steady downtrend here for about an hour and a half or so, a little bit over an hour and a half, past hour. Nice little uptrend here. So that's kind of the way today's been going. And do we possibly see a sell down as we go into close today in expectation that CPI, has the same trend that PPI does, and we see inflation in that area also tick higher tomorrow morning? Guys, I mean it's very possible. It's very possible that we see the market kind of sell off as we get ready for CPI tomorrow morning. So obviously we'll find out. I don't like to take bets myself over economic data points like that, economic catalysts like that. So anyways, yeah, that could definitely happen. Kind of surprised we haven't seen more bearishness today, but some markets have seen more bearishness today than others. Qs. Take a look at the Qs. A little bit of a lower open here this morning. Nice little pop there in the first hour, especially for like 10 minutes. It just absolutely skyrocketed. Yeah. Came back down, bounced again, pulled back. Been a little bit stronger here on the Qs area compared to the SPY. Qs currently up about 0.25%. SPY's up about 0.1%. IWM, nice gap up here on the IWM. I think it gapped up about 1% here. Yeah, 1.15% there. You can see a kind of a large upper wick there in the first 5 minutes, but it's been steadily pulling back throughout the day. Currently up 0.2%. The DIA, a little bit of a higher open, but it's mostly flat. Kind of choppy, nice little head and shoulders action here. And it's traded down from that. It's currently negative 0.05%. RSP, you can see a nice gap up here. And it has steadily pulled back throughout the day. Currently kind of in line with the SPY. But yeah, you can see how much it has just been pulling back throughout the day. So, I mean, that's kind of where we are with things. I mean, seeing quite a bit of profit taking and quite a bit of names out there, even though the RSP here did gap up roughly 0.35%. So a lot of people taking some profit. All right. RSP kind of flat here over the past 3 days. We'll see what obviously CPI tomorrow gives us. Maybe we are seeing some selling ahead of it. But, I mean, we did extend away from the moving averages pretty well. So even if we do drop tomorrow, roughly, I mean, 0.75%. I mean, we're just going to be back in the moving average territory, support and resistance type area that you probably just find dip buyers. So, could we see a quick drop tomorrow? Very highly likely. Very highly likely. The DIA, same kind of boat. Nice extension towards the end of last week. Could definitely drop and pull back very quickly tomorrow. Nothing too indifferent there. IWM, same kind of deal. Trying to break above this support and resistance level here around the 205, 206 level. Definitely had a pretty good hard time maintaining through this spot here over the past several months. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Qs, same kind of deal. Kind of got a little bit extended away from moving averages. Even if we do see a quick drop, I mean, we're just going to be back in the moving averages. So if you are playing it bearish going into tomorrow, and we do get these drops on these markets, like once we come into the moving averages, you're probably just going to take it off and then, look to reassess. Not saying that we don't get some kind of like intraday bounce and then maybe we roll over tomorrow afternoon possibly, or maybe here over the next couple days. That'd be kind of tough one. That's why you just got to reassess. But yeah, if you're looking for the bearish move back to the moving averages that are uptrending, yeah, once you get that move, just reassess it, take your profits. SPY, same kind of deal. Same kind of deal. Got a nice little extension here over the past week and a half, 2 weeks. Yeah, get the quick pullback. Which, how much of a move would this be on the SP 500? About 1%. It'd be about 1% down to that 10 EMA. So yeah, if we do get down there, yeah, you're just going to take it off. Look to reassess. What's really kind of concerning, or I mean, it could be a pro or a con. It can go either way, honestly. Man, we've had a lot of volume drop off here. A lot of volume drop off. I mean, it's one that if you are moving directionally on low volume, it's not horrible because that just means nobody's kind of going the other way. Nobody's selling, and that's kind of one thing is like no one's really selling. It's just like buyers have just come in, although it's low volume buying, which typically is not one that sustains longer rallies. Those are typically ones that are towards the end, right? You get those towards the end of certain moves. You have this longer term kind of run here, this longer run, I guess, that we had back from like November to end of March. Like the volume profile is definitely quite a bit higher. You can see it like here on this gray line or this red line, the SPX 4200 line, just for reference. You can see a lot of volume bars that are breaching above that. And then here over the past like 2 weeks, we haven't really had any. Going all the way back to May 6th. I mean, we haven't had one day kind of over those two kind of lines there, and that's kind of the concerning part is, I mean, is volume starting to dry up, and then if you get one sharp sell day and it breaks through a lot of things, yeah, I mean, it always changes. It's always kind of just be mindful of what's kind of going on in the market, but for now, the low volume is pushing the market higher, or has been pushing the market higher, so we'll just see what kind of happens tomorrow. VIX, nice gap up here on Monday. Yep, that's normal. And yeah, I mean, just kind of pulled into some moving averages. All right, just kind of hanging out for the most part, but nice gap up there on Monday. Okay. DXY, ooh, this looks like it is going to roll over. It looks like it is going to roll over. So we had that breakdown, right? We had this breakdown here, and we were curious, was this going to be the retest? Right here into these lows, and then we're going to roll back over. Was this the breakdown, or was this the pullback? And then, yeah, I mean, it's definitely looking like it's going to roll over for now. Obviously, that 50 EMA is going to be a pretty important one because we didn't hold this big lower wick that we got back on May the 3rd. We did not hold below that. And we are currently also still sitting right on top of these double tops, these two high spots that we had back in February and the beginning of April. So, yeah, it's a pretty important spot. Pretty important spot. So if we do get a lower close, but if we get a close below that 50 EMA, probably looking for the DXY and the dollar probably just to drop off. GLD, which if you want to play it bullish, GLD gold would be one of those ways. Yeah, that would look really good. Nice little consolidation, inverted head and shoulders. Talked about that at the end of last week. Look, this would look so good if we saw a dollar drop off. Yeah, looking pretty good today. Nice little gap down yesterday. Kind of pulled back in the moving averages. Kind of retested into that neckline area of this inverted head and shoulders pattern. So that looks pretty good. 10-year yields. Yeah, nice little sidestep pattern. Looks like we're going to break down here. So, yep, tomorrow yields, CPI data is going to be massively important for DXY dollar and yields. You can see the 10-year looks like it's definitely going to be breaking down here really pretty soon. Here's the 30-year yield. Yep, same kind of deal, sidestep pattern. Now, this is still in its channel, so it could definitely just come to the lower end of the channel and maybe bounce. So, looks a little bit different there on the 30-year. 2-year actually still looks kind of bullish just because we had a little bit more of a higher push here recently on yields. Okay, but I mean, this is definitely a consolidation, kind of like inverse flag pattern that we kind of set up here. So, yeah, we could definitely see. Oops, we could definitely see the drop off come as we break through that inverse flag pattern there. So, yeah, there we go. Anyways, that's a quick look at yields, the 10, 30, and the 2-year. 10 and 2 inversion. Not really doing a whole lot here the past couple days. I was kind of surprised we didn't see a little bit more movement across some of the yield curve today, but I guess maybe we'll get the fireworks tomorrow. HYG looks like it's going to base on these moving averages. This looks pretty decent. We've had several days in a row now where we've kind of consolidated and bounced here. Also briefly interacted with this kind of top back here on April 24th, Friday and Monday. So this looks pretty good. To probably be bullish off of this level, because that's also where the moving averages are. Kind of where those previous highs were, or previous lows were back here. Kind of back in that time frame. So, or the beginning part of the year. So yeah, not looking too bad there on the HYG. LQD looks pretty good. Looks pretty spicy there. Nice. So yeah, I made a run to these lows that we had back in February and March. That's where we had the pullback here over the past week. This looks pretty good. Moving averages pushing higher. That looks pretty good. That looks very promising. So we are seeing bonds show some life. All right. TLT not looking too bad. Had its pullback last week, midweek. This looks pretty good as well. Okay. So yeah, bonds not looking too bad. They look better than yields. Yields just look like they're ready to break down, but I mean bonds are already kind of rallying a little bit. All right, take a look here at sector rotation. And yeah, tech is the day's best performer, currently up 0.5%. Real estate up 0.4% or so on the day, not quite 0.5%. Discretionary is also outperforming just slightly. Communications barely underperforming there. Financials also underperforming. Healthcare, materials, utilities, industrials underperforming there. And then energies and staples at the lower end of the day. And if you take a look intraday, this is not shocking that tech is towards the upper end of the day, because yeah, we took a look at those Qs, and the Qs that definitely looked a lot better intraday than many of the other areas in the market. So the Qs look pretty decent. Communications, financials, and discretionaries underperforming. Healthcare, industrials, energies, materials, utilities, and staples all underperforming there. Getting a little bit of price action pop there, right there. So yeah, tech is definitely leading the day during the day. There you go. That is what you need to know.